Are you having a hard time completing your backswing? It might not have anything to do with your swing. You might just have some tight hips. Your hips actually play a really big role in your golf swing. It's what allows us to rotate. So if I'm swinging a golf club, as I get to the top of the swing, I have to have enough internal hip mobility in order for my pelvis to be able to rotate and for then my upper body to be able to rotate on top of that. Looking at it from this side, as I get to the top, I need to have enough internal hip mobility to be able to load into my trail hip. If I don't have enough, I might end up doing something like this, just because I just don't have the range of motion. And we all know that this look here is not the way it's supposed to look like. If you're not sure if you have a hip mobility issue, I'm going to show you a simple test you guys can do to let you know if you actually have that issue going on. And then 3 simple exercises you guys can do to start increasing that range of motion in the hips. So for this test, we're going to use a simple block like this, or you can even use a small ball that you can put in between your knees. And the way it's going to look is I'm going to lay on the ground. I'm going to put this block in between my knees here. I'm going to lay down, relax, flatten my lower back out, and raise my legs, keeping them at 90 degrees. From here, I'm going to put some slight pressure on the block, and I'm going to internally rotate each hip to find out which side has more range of motion. So we're going to start with my right, and then we're going to go left. We're going to do it a couple more times. Right, left, right, left. And as you guys can see, it seems like I have a little bit more range of motion on my left side. So let's make sure. Yep, definitely tight there. And not as tight on this side. So based on that test, you guys can see that I'm a little bit tighter on my right side than I am on my left. So let's go over 3 exercises to help me increase that range of motion. All right, so for the first one, I'm going to need a kettlebell and a foam roller. I'm going to set my kettlebell to the side for a second. I'm going to place the foam roller on the wall here. Other end is going to be on the inside of my working leg, the one side that I want to increase that range of motion at. From here, I'm going to take a split stance. This is going to be my starting position, okay? So I'm going to grab onto my weight. From here, I'm going to use that weight to let me fall into that hip. So I'm going to load that hip. I'm loading into internal rotation, okay? So it's a very simple exercise. You're starting here, and you're letting that left side just dip downwards until you feel that load on that working hip, all right? It's a very similar feeling to the load that we want to feel at the top of the swing. And after 2 or 3 reps here, you're going to start feeling a little bit of a burn. Okay, so it doesn't take too much weight. I have here 6 kilos, 13 pounds. Don't go too crazy with weight on this one. You don't need it. Here, slight dip. All the load goes into that hip. Notice that I'm not letting my upper body bend forward too much. I'm keeping that initial posture, and I'm just letting that load happen, okay? So load, hold it for a couple seconds, come back up. Load, couple seconds, come back up. 1 down, 2 to go. All right, so for the second exercise, we're going to use a med ball. Nothing too heavy, 6 pounds, 8 pounds, 10 pounds at most. We're going to give it a big old hug. Okay, we're still going to load into that trail hip. And the way it's going to look like, it's going to be like this. We're going to slowly lunge into that skater position. Really feel that load in that trail hip and slowly come back up. Okay, similar to the previous exercise, it doesn't take much to start really feeling that burn. After 3, 4 reps, you're going to really start feeling that burn on that hip. And again, really good exercise to start loading and increasing that range of motion in that side, in that hip that needs that extra range of motion. Okay, focus on balance, making sure that you're not wobbling everywhere. You might. If that's the case, that's okay. Just hold it at the bottom for a couple seconds and come back up. Great exercise to really feel that load in the hip. All right, now the third exercise. All right, so for the third one, we're going to use a great cook band, wrap it around my outside leg, which is my loading leg. This is basically an assisted airplane. And for this one, again, we don't have weight, but we're using some form of resistance by using this band. So from here, I'm going to get myself into my airplane kind of setup position. And from here, similar to the first exercise, we're going to let that hip drop, and then we're going to open up. And then bring it back to the starting position. Okay? And again, I'm fighting this band from pulling me this way, so I'm really going to recruit those glute muscles during this exercise. So down and up. Down and up. Might look easy, but really challenging that glute to stabilize while I create range of motion, both in internal rotation and then external as I go to the top. If you guys have a hard time doing this without losing your balance, then it's okay to slightly tap that back foot in the setup position, let it drop, and then only pick it up when you're going into external. And then tap it back down. And then slowly work your way up until you guys can do it without using the back foot. So there you have it. 3 simple exercises you guys can do if you have poor internal hip mobility on either hip. And just as a reminder, hip internal mobility is really important because as we make a backswing here, I really need to recruit that range of motion to be able to complete my turn. Not only from my lower body, but also from my upper body. A lot of compensations are made when golfers don't have the adequate amount of hip mobility. We see anything from like a slide. Some people favor the left side only when they rotate, just because they don't have any availability in range of motion and internal rotation of that hip. And if that's the case, you're always going to struggle with consistency, right? Because you might hit it great on the range, under no pressure, you're cruising. But as soon as there's some amount of pressure, you collapse, right? Let's say you're heading on to 18, you're leading by 1, snap hook it off a tee just because everything kind of just gave up on you. If we have that sufficient range of motion in the body, then we can make really comfortable golf swings that we can rely on consistently. Or at least give us a better chance to do so. Like always, please comment, like, and subscribe. Helps grow this channel and allows me to keep making these videos. Now let's say your inability to complete a backswing has nothing to do with your hips. You might have some great range of motion in the hips. If that's you, then check this video over here and we'll talk about the technical side of the golf swing that might be affecting your inability to complete your backswing. Until next time, hit 'em well, guys.